It's all around us, from the decisions we make on a day-to-day basis to the reasons we get up early in the morning. Money more or less controls our life. It can change our mood in a positive or negative way, and it's something that most people need to concern themselves with. Here are a few things that I've learned that I wish I knew years ago. The first money-saving tip that I have is to make sure that you pay for everything with cash. This is such an obvious thing, but it was one of the things I struggled with most right out of college. I got a credit card, put about $6,000 worth of equipment more or less for YouTube and a trip on it and all kinds of other stuff on it. And basically that kind of having to deal with that later on was a really big problem. The next thing is to own your media. This is more of a, maybe I'm a conspiracy theorist, crazy nut job loon bag, but I like to purchase, I'm a big fan of Star Wars, in case you guys haven't noticed. I like to own all my DVDs. So here is, I own every Star Wars DVD that there is of the movies that are actually good. So episodes 1 through 6 and Rogue One. And I think it's really important to own all this media. One, because you never know when Disney Plus might just take it off. You have no idea. You're kind of beholden to the company that you're paying. And also you're paying a monthly service. These DVDs, this is a 4K Blu-ray. I got this for Christmas from somebody else. But if I were to buy this myself, I would just go on eBay and purchase Rogue One, a Star Wars story, 1080p. You could buy that for probably 10, 12 bucks. You can do that with a lot of different content. Avatar: The Last Airbender, I just bought all 3 seasons for $13, all the DVDs. I think owning your content is really good. You're not beholden to the company that is the gatekeeper of that content. And sometimes it switches. Sometimes Netflix will lose its rights to Hulu, and then Hulu will lose its rights to Paramount Plus. And there's like 25 different streaming platforms. When you add up the money each month, you basically can afford $20 worth of content, and the collection you can build up over a couple years is pretty vast. And what I've noticed is you don't need access to all that content. You're probably more likely to watch content or listen to content that you don't actually need to watch or listen to just because you're paying for it and you have access to it. So limiting exactly what DVDs that you own and backing them up. I back up all my DVDs. I'm in the middle of backing these up. That's why I have the notes on them. Limiting the content that you have access to is probably a good thing. It's probably not a good thing to watch as much TV as possible. It's probably better to limit what you have because you're more than likely not going to keep watching the same thing over and over and over again. And instead, you'll probably do something productive with your time, like maybe go outside, shoot some hoops, go for a run, go for a walk, whatever that may be. Some of the best stories I've heard about why you should invest are from people who live very humble lives and then die, and they end up donating 10, 15, 20 million dollars to random charities. In one article I have here, a Vermont-based janitor and gas station attendant Ronald Reed was able to amass a net worth of $8 million. He died in 2014. He was able to donate $6 million at his death, and all he did was very basic jobs. He wasn't a financial advisor. He wasn't some accountant. He wasn't a doctor. He wasn't one of these jobs, these high income classic jobs. He wasn't an athlete. He was just a regular dude who worked regular jobs and made very irregular savings and investments, and clearly did very, very well. And from reading in the article, it's not like he was investing in shorting GameStop or doing all these crazy things. He just invested as much as he could, as often as he could. And I love hearing stories like this because that brings me to my third point. Obviously, investing is one of the more important things that you can do, especially when you're younger. I've always invested. Ever since I was a kid, I've invested. It's just been something that I've always done ever since I had a job. My parents really pushed that on me when I was a kid, and I'm grateful that they did now. And I think that that's just one of those things where if you can set it up in such a way where you don't even have to worry about a lot of 401ks come out of your paycheck before it even hits your bank account, I think that's probably the best way to invest for most people. Myself, I don't really need that. I do that because of the match, but I also have other investments that I like to do because I know that I need to invest, and I always choose to invest extra versus just saving in cash or spending it on some nonsense. One of the other things that I'm really glad I did in the past is try stuff. My bathtub in my old house, after using Goo Gone, I let it sit on it for a little bit because I just wanted to clean it up. It ended up cracking the tub. It wasn't a porcelain tub. It was like a plastic cover over top of a tub, and it cracked it. Goo Gone, thankfully though, gave me an $8 gift card to Lowe's that I bought it from because I bought Goo Gone from Lowe's. So I was really thankful for them to do that for me. But if you can't tell, I'll never buy another Goo Gone product again, and neither should you. And neither should Goo Gone. Shouldn't sell anything ever again because They totally screwed me out. But either way, we were kind of stuck. We couldn't really take showers because the water would get into the cracks and build up underneath that little plastic layer over top of the original porcelain tub. So we were more or less forced to do either a complete bathroom remodel or replace the tub. And the way the tub was situated, it made more sense to just do a complete remodel because the entire bathroom was pretty small, but it just needed work and the entire thing needed updated. And I ended up doing that entire bathroom. This is like peak COVID, so prices were definitely down on stuff, but I ended up doing the entire bathroom for like $1,800. And had I paid somebody to do that, it would have cost me probably $4,000 to $6,000 just to do the little bathroom that we ended up redoing, or that I did myself. It wasn't perfect, and I definitely messed some stuff up, but I learned a lot, and the amount of money that I saved from doing that and the amount of skills I built up from doing that will pay off in the long run tenfold. And also what I think is like, you could break as many things as you want, and there's always an expert who can fix it. So you might as well break as much stuff as you want, because if you're gonna spend the $6,000 on somebody doing it anyway, you might as well just break a lot of stuff and see if you can do it yourself. And if you can't, you just pay somebody to come in, they'll do it the rest of it, and it'll basically cost about the same. That's sort of my strategy. And either way, you'll learn something along the way. That's what I like to do, and I think that has saved me a bunch of money. It's one of the reasons we bought a house when we did, because the difference between renting and owning a home, depending on your ability to fix things, I think is kind of like the big decider. Renting is really nice, especially if you're younger, because if the washer breaks, you just call somebody and they come in and fix it for free. If the toilet's leaking or if the sink is leaking, if all this stuff is something is broken, somebody will come in and fix that. But for me at our house, if something's broken, I fix it every single time. Other than the big things like a water heater, I do all the little stuff. Our sink upstairs is leaking. I just ordered the part and it's coming in soon. So I think that is probably one of the more valuable skills that I've definitely learned throughout my life. It's just trying stuff and seeing and breaking stuff. And if it works, it works. And if it doesn't work, it's not a big deal. You can just call an expert and they'll fix it for you. Thank you for watching the video. Hopefully the new microphone sounds good. I spent a lot of money on it. I flipped some computers and I bought this for myself as a little gift to start encouraging myself to make some more YouTube videos. Hopefully you like the new audio quality and the new slat wall behind me that I constructed myself. Again, build stuff yourself. If you break it, somebody else can do it for you and probably do it a little bit better. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.